Well, I'm back in the model room and I love it. I've got a project on the bench. I feel good. This is great. It's not even 6:30 in the morning and I'm already starting because I just can't wait to get going. I'm working on the rock and roll build and I'm going to show you the progress today. Welcome to the model room. So as happy as I am to be in here, there is a sad note that I have to mention, and that is that we've lost a number of members of our modeling community in the past several weeks. I was friends with three of them, and they will be missed. They are Bill Coulter, of course. I'm sure many of you knew Bill. Bill was a wonderful guy. He was just such an outgoing and friendly guy, and he was great to be around. Of course, he helped us all out so much with the articles that he wrote and the books that he wrote. He was really a prolific writer, and Bill was just so wonderful to be around. He was a friendly guy, and he taught us a lot, so he'll be missed. Also, John K. Dezan. John, lived in Canada, and a fairly young guy, not an old guy at all. And he did modeling for many, many years. I knew him probably more than 20 years. And he would come down to NNL East every year. He would bring his little alter ego, Jackson. Jackson was kind of fun. He would also bring the Can-Am garage, the diorama, and people would pose their cars with Jackson in the Can-Am garage, take photos. That was a lot of fun. Tom Geiger and I actually took Jackson on one leg of his world tour. He actually sent him around the world. We took him to Utah, and I think from there he went to Europe. John was a very friendly guy. He became a content creator. I'm sure many of you watched his channel, and again, he will be missed. And finally, Rick Rothermel. Rick, from Car Modeler Magazine. He wrote a column there for many years. Rick was very tuned into the TV and movie scene in Los Angeles. In fact, I believe he was a producer in one of the car shows. I think it was Wild About Wheels. He knew a lot about what was going on then. And he was also kind of hooked into the model car scene back in the 70s and even earlier than that. So Rick was a good guy. He retired and moved back to Huntsville, Alabama, where he had grown up, and continued writing. He wrote a series of detective books called the C Street Mysteries. He was actually in negotiation to bring them to the screen. I know that he put a lot of time into that. He would call me occasionally. You probably don't know, before I retired, I was a lawyer, and he would call and ask me legal questions so that the C Street novels would be accurate. He was a good guy. Knew him for many years, and another one that will be missed. Okay, now on to more pleasant things. This is my entry in Woody's Rock and Roll on Wheels group build. Obviously, it's a dune buggy, and it's in paint now. I followed kind of the pattern of this one-to-one dune buggy. I like the look of this. It's not an exact replica by any means, but I tried to get that sort of torn paper look on the fenders and here on the side of the body, also in back. And you can see in the very back, I've got a sort of stylized Chevy emblem because there's a Corvair engine under there. Now, there's some bleed through on this. I got to fix it. It won't be hard to fix. And I painted the floor. I want to give that a very light sanding to smooth it out. But I didn't use that adhesive fuzzy stuff that I was going to use because I don't think you'd have that on a dune buggy. It gets wet and it would be sloppy. And, with this sort of thing, you can either dry it or drain it, whatever you do. So that's the way this is, and that's the way this is going to go. I've got other things that are going to go on there. One of them is this. This is the hood from the Myers-Manx, and it came out okay, except when I masked off those little torn paper type stripes, it got this. Can we even see it? It got some residue from the tape that I masked the stripe with. I've never had that happen before, and I think it's just because I was using like Avery labels to do it. and they're not really meant for masking for paint. So I could just polish this out. What I really am going to do is just strip it and repaint it. It won't be hard. It won't take long. And I think rather than try and mask out those little lines, I'm just going to kind of do squiggles with a paintbrush and some thin paint. So we'll see how that comes out. That won't take long either. Moving on, I got this surfboard out. And I thought, well, okay, you should have a surfboard, in dune buggy. But with this one, you can see, and this is 25th scale. This is from the Blue Beetle, now known as the Blue Bandito. And, I had it, so I thought, well, let me use it. But you can see that it is kind of big for this dune buggy. However, I'm going to put the roof on top from the Myers-Manx. I cut off the sail panels. And I think that once it gets up there, and it's sitting on top, it's about as long as the dune buggy. I'll move it back a little bit. I think it'll look all right. So I'm going to see about that. If not, then maybe I'll get or make a smaller surfboard. Here is the seat. This is that blue Hawaiian seat cover. They call it also wet Oakley. I just saw an ad for it not too long ago, so they're still in business. They've been around a long time. So I just did, this is not the Corvette seat. I decided not to use that, but I just did an insert in there with that. I may want to do something on the headrest, but it's coming along. I'll do the other one and get them into the body. Here is the chassis and engine. You've seen this before. I don't have the carbs on it yet. I did get the 2mm grommets for the intakes. Here they are. And these are going to go well. They fit. The only thing is that they go on the, sort of chrome air cleaner under them. And I lost one. I had one on a stick, and I don't know, I lost it. It's one of these sticks with one of these on the end. And this is a very small room. I don't know where it could have gone, but it's gone. It's one of those things that, it goes into another dimension. I don't know. In any case, I decided I would carve my own, do another set. So that's in progress now. I just have to attach it to the top of the carburetor and then put those flutes on top, and it'll be ready to go. So that's good. And I have these wheels. Let me show you the wheels. If we can even see them, I'm not sure that'll come in too well. Can you see that? These are 5-spoke wheels. They're kind of like American Mags. And I painted them semi-gloss black, and then I put a gloss coat on top of them. They came out okay. I still have to detail the lug nuts and the center cap, and then they'll be ready to go in. I picked these because I was looking in the parts box, and I found these wheels, and they have a real aluminum sleeve on the outside. I like that look. I think it's pretty neat. So I'm going to go with it. I still have to either drill the hub inside here because it's a little small, or put a sleeve over it that will slip over the axle. I'll work on that. And that's, again, not going to be a hard thing to do. Now here's something. These are foot pads for something that went on the desk, and I never used them. And as I was looking at them, I thought, they had the look of like a mud flap. And I always wanted to do mud flaps on this because the back end goes out straight and there would be nothing to stop sand or dirt or whatever from coming up. So I thought, well, all right, if I can get these in here, I'll cut them. Obviously, I have to paint the back side, and that won't be hard. And I can make mud flaps out of them. We'll see how that looks. So overall, things are coming together. They're moving on several fronts, and I should be ready with a completed build to show you very shortly. Now, coming up, I've got a whole bunch of videos that are planned because while I was, not filming, I was thinking up things to do. So there's going to be a whole bunch of them coming in. I'm going to drop them pretty quickly. I, again, want to say thank you to everyone who is viewing, to everyone who has subscribed and who has stayed with me while I was ill and not really filming. So we're back. We're going. I've got a whole day planned of videoing and building the model. So I'm in my glory here. I'm happy. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.